Hey, what's up guys? John here. California is done. I moved to California in 2006 and absolutely loved it. I recently left last year, sold my house, I uprooted my whole family. I'm in Florida now. Things have really taken a big change in California. Some people love California still, and some people really are kind of fed up. If you're a property owner or a landlord in California, you know that everything's been pretty challenging for you for the last couple of years. And now if you're living in Los Angeles, if you're renting property in Los Angeles, the eviction moratorium is intact until June of 2023, meaning there was 3 years where tenants would not have to pay rent. That's if it does not get extended again, which is very likely that California will extend it. Now, if they do not extend it, you will likely not see a judge until 2025 because there's over 700,000 tenants behind on rent. There's only so many judges and only so many courthouses. What we're likely going to see is a very big challenge for landlords. But now what we're seeing is two huge changes for the California economy that I think are going to really shift everything for the state of California. The first is that they are now moving forward on this 17% down payment. California, it was 10%. They were talking about, we're going to give 10% down payments to buyers. Now it's 17%. They're giving away a 17% down payment to home buyers because they say that the home prices are too high and they need to give this money away. Now, what I wonder is, are we going to step into a really big problem where we have increased housing costs? Because what's ultimately going to happen? When we look at all of us that have purchased a property, what we see, like, for me, example, is the discipline that it takes to actually save up the money. It might take a year, it might take 2 years to save up the money for the first property. I know it took me a while. You save up that money, and every week you're trying to tuck away a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And the whole time you're doing it, you're looking at different areas in which you want to buy and where you'd like to live, what your life would be like. You're really thinking about it. You're building out all your goals around this. But now they want to just give the down payments away. So what I wonder is, are people going to buy properties that they otherwise would not have purchased just because the down payment is free in their eyes? Are they going to overextend themselves as we're in this economy that looks like it's taking a very big turn? Are we going to see home prices skyrocket simply because people just want to run out there and buy? What is this actually going to do to the state of California? I know this is going to do a lot for the property tax revenue coming because the higher the property values go, the more California makes in property taxes. But they want to do this. Here's what's going on. Just as the median price of a single home now hit $1 million in San Diego County, California, lawmakers are considering a bill that would help first-time home buyers increase their buying power. California Dream for All CDA program is the next step for lawmakers addressing the lack of affordable housing in the state. The CDA program, proposed by Senator President pro tempore Tony Atkins, creates a $1 billion fund to help loan first-time homebuyers 17% of the home's purchase price for a down payment. If they refinance or sell the home later, the state is reimbursed for the 17%. So if you refinance the property, you buy it, let's say the market takes a change, you need to pull some money out, you got the property at a 5.5% interest rate, now interest rates are 8%. What's ultimately going to happen is these buyers are just getting squeezed in. Refinance or you sell the property, you got to pay back the 17%. California's low inventory and inflation are raising home prices in an already expensive state. Hopeful first-time home buyers like David Cow and his fiance are expecting this firsthand. Even writing a nice letter to a seller, introducing ourselves, introducing our puppy, telling them that we're trying to find a yard for him to run around, and obviously that's not going to have as much leverage as a cash offer. Cow and his fiance have both stable jobs as pharmacists and are looking to upgrade from a one-bedroom apartment. In fact, Cow said he recently made an offer for $924,900 for a property in Poway, but was outbid. He said the home went to someone that offered 50% down and waived the contingencies. It's difficult because as much as we want to try to compete with these people by trying to increase our buying power, or just being less picky with the first home we're trying to get into, when push comes to shove, someone with a lot of money or more buying power is going to win. Cal's real estate agent John Freeman with Pete Knows Real Estate said that the state program provides a loan, not a grant, and will definitely help the affordability crisis in California. There just got to be a way to get people into homes, because if they don't get in now, who knows, in the next 20 years they'll be able to afford houses in the future. But low inventory is still a problem. Several bills and legislation address the shortage of units. As of right now, there's only 66 properties that are a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,000 square feet that are available for purchase. Cal continues to look for a new home. I mean, I'm no economist. I think it's very extreme. I think it could be very helpful, but at the same time, I don't know if it's really addressing the issue of rising home prices. But at the very least, he told NBC7 the state's proposed next step gives him some hope that help is on the way for a homeowner in San Diego. Now, it's crazy because what's ultimately going to happen here is we are going to see people like him, him and his fiance, educated, they probably worked very, very hard saving up money, but they are just desperate to get into a property. They're desperate to get into a property. If they can't get into a property right now on their own merit, it might make sense just to save money and sit on the sidelines and wait. Now, not a lot of people will agree with me. Maybe people will think, no, he should just be able to get the money and just go buy any property he wants. But, you don't want to buy something that is over what you can organically afford. I believe if you can't pay the payment 3 or 4 times in a month, meaning if you're making $8,000 a month, your payment should be $2,000 or $2,500, at a maximum. You shouldn't be extending yourself to purchase a property just because you want to purchase property and get out of your 1-bedroom apartment. The second thing California is doing right now is that they are now pushing minimum wage, and this is already set, 2023. Minimum wage is increasing because of inflation. Now, inflation, sure, it impacts employees, sure, but it does. What about the employers? What about the business owners? Business owners are paying more for cost of goods. Everything's going up in California. You look at this chart here. California, where are the most businesses closed? This is Yelp. Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles is the city with the most closures. And what state? California. So, right, and this isn't even a competition. Like Los Angeles crushes New York and Texas. It's by a landslide. It's a victory. It's over, right, in terms of competing for the worst places to run a business. And now they're going to be increasing minimum wage. So what I'm looking at is California's minimum wage is going to jump to $15.50 per hour. Governor Gavin Newsom administration announced Thursday an increase triggering it by soaring inflation that will benefit about 3 million workers. But the big question is it really going to benefit 3 million workers, or how many of these workers are actually going to have jobs? 2.5 million? Are we going to see massive layoffs? Because what I think is going to happen as interest rates rise over the next month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, what's ultimately going to happen is the cost to borrow money for small businesses is going to rise with it. So the small businesses' costs going to rise, oil prices are rising, and the cost of goods that they are selling is rising alongside of labor cost. This is going to be a very, very big problem with small business owners in the state of California. Almost all business owners. That's why we're already seeing a lot of businesses leave California and go to other places. But we are going to see more and more and more businesses close up in California. At the same time, the state of California is giving away money for down payments in the form of a loan, giving away 17% down. So they're extending. It's very smart because they also are pushing for all these universal basic income programs. So they're pushing up the property prices by giving 17% down payments, in my opinion. And they're also pushing universal basic income in a variety of different cities throughout California. And now they are pushing up the minimum wage. So they're pushing small business owners into a place of real desperation, meanwhile making the state of California look like the savior here to help. But I think ultimately what's going to happen long term is that the businesses that do make it are going to say, hey, you know what, it just makes more sense to invest in AI or robotics and really kind of not deal with this regulation. Because the regulation is never going to stop with California. Its minimum wage is $15.50. I can almost guarantee the next year it's going to be more, and the next year it's going to be more, next year it's going to be more. And small business owners are going to say, you know what, I've had enough. I'm just going to invest and buy something for 50 grand or 100 grand that's going to do the job, and I can work at 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think that's where we are ultimately going. I think California is really, really overstepping here. But I'm curious as to what do you think? Drop your comments below. Hit the like button. Subscribe here. Also subscribe to my second channel. It's going to be a podcast and also a really interactive show. I just have the TV set up. I'll show you guys the TV. So I just got it set up, and it's going to be pretty awesome. And also on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everything's in the banner. Catch you guys later.